Hello everyone, welcome to History and Culture. Empress Dowager Cixi ruled China for 47 years, from 1861, when she initiated the Xinyu coup, until her death in 1908. During this period, society experienced immense change. Yet she remained firmly at the pinnacle of power. Through her exceptional political skills, she successfully commanded the powerful Xiang and Huai armies, quelling the Taiping Rebellion. She also made key decisions twice regarding the imperial succession, freely appointing and dismissing ministers and nobles. Even after the Wushu coup, she managed to reverse the situation and achieve her desired victory. After the Boxer Rebellion, she was still able to maintain her position. These political maneuvers undoubtedly helped her sustain her rule. However, if we analyze further, there were three main political reasons that enabled Empress Dowager Cixi to hold power for such an extended period in the Qing Dynasty. Firstly, a country cannot have a long-reigning monarch, which created the conditions for Empress Dowager Cixi to rule behind the scenes. When Emperor Xianfeng died at the age of 31, he left behind a 5-year-old son, Zai Chun, who ascended the throne as Emperor Tongzhi. Emperor Tongzhi died at 19 from smallpox and venereal disease, leaving no heirs. At just 4 years old, Zai Tian succeeded him and became Emperor Guangxu. Guangxu also passed away in 1908 at the age of 38 without an heir, and shortly thereafter, the 3-year-old Pui ascended the throne as Emperor Xiantong. From 1861 to 1908, the three emperors who succeeded to the throne were just 5, 4, and 3 years old, respectively. How could such young children govern a country? Therefore, Empress Dowager Cixi was able to rule behind the curtain. Had China had a mature and steady emperor at that time, Empress Dowager Cixi would never have had the opportunity to seize power. British scholars Phelan and Blunden, in their book The External History of Empress Dowager Cixi, recorded a statement she made shortly before her death: "I have ruled behind the curtain several times. Those who do not know may think I was greedy for power. But in fact, I was forced by circumstances." While this statement may be partly a defense of herself, it is undeniable that facing one young emperor after another, her rule behind the curtain was a necessity dictated by the circumstances. Secondly, Empress Dowager Cixi represented legitimate imperial authority, and no one dared challenge her rule. In 1861, Empress Dowager Cixi was able to defeat the 8 ministers who had been appointed by Emperor Xianfeng during the Xinyu coup. Apart from her strategy of striking first, the key factor was her position as the mother of the new emperor. At the time, most of the court officials believed that only the emperor's mother could represent imperial authority. As long as the Qing Empire existed, the imperial power would not waver. Therefore, during the Xinyu coup, Empress Dowager Cixi, by virtue of this identity, naturally occupied the high ground of moral and legal authority. This placed her in an invincible position in the power struggle with the 8 ministers. Moreover, among the other royal relatives who represented imperial authority, Prince Gong Yisan and Prince Chun Yishuan were the two most powerful. In her relationships with these two brothers-in-law, Empress Dowager Cixi always maintained an absolute dominant position. In 1884, Empress Dowager Cixi suddenly issued a decree to dismiss all the ministers of the Grand Council headed by Prince Gong, forcing him to return to his fiefdom, only to be reinstated during the First Sino-Japanese War. Although Prince Chun held power, his weak character led him to absolutely obey Empress Dowager Cixi's authority. Even after his son Zaitian ascended the throne, Prince Chun lived in extreme fear, once requesting Empress Dowager Cixi to remove him from his duties, openly stating that he was willing to suffer for the sake of a son with no talent, allowing the emperor of the Qing Dynasty to be succeeded by a mediocre and untalented heir. Facing such an obedient prince, other royal family members dared not challenge Empress Dowager Cixi's rule. The third reason is that Empress Dowager Cixi remained loyal to the Aisin Joro family, avoiding any resentment from the imperial family. She also prevented the expansion of the influence of the maternal family, ensuring her power within the court. For the 47 years that Empress Dowager Cixi held power, she did not leave any evidence for outsiders of her family using their power to dominate the court. Some historical records describe how she dealt with the issue of maternal relatives. When she first came to power, she did indeed grant titles to her two younger brothers, Zhaoxiang and Guixiang, making them third-class Chenjian Gong, a noble title, and even posthumously granted these titles to their father, grandfather, and great-grandfather. However, these titles were part of the standard practices of the Qing Dynasty and did not violate court regulations. Unlike Empress Wu Zetian, Empress Dowager Cixi did not build temples for her family or excessively honor her ancestors. This suggests that while Empress Dowager Cixi cared for her family, she still maintained a certain level of restraint when it came to the power of maternal relatives. Let's take a look at how she handled the succession issue. Some might think that Cixi had personal motives when choosing the Guangxu emperor. But in reality, Guangxu was the seventh son of Emperor Daoguang, Emperor Xuanzong Cheng. And the Xiantong emperor was the grandson of Yishi, Daoguang's son. This ensured that the throne remained within the Aisin-Zhorou family, avoiding falling into a collateral line. Therefore, while Cixi's choice might have been motivated by personal reasons, historically, she never allowed the external relatives to usurp power, which also demonstrated her loyalty to the Aisin-Zhorou family. Moreover, according to historical records, Cixi not only had a significant influence on state affairs but also had a strong interest in novels, especially Dream of the Red Chamber. Her love for the novel was almost obsessive. Historical accounts suggest that in the 10th year of Guangxu, 1884, to celebrate Cixi's 50th birthday, the Changchun Palace underwent extensive renovations. During the renovation, nearly 20 murals based on Dream of the Red Chamber were painted on the surrounding walls of the corridors. The murals depicted famous scenes, including visiting the Grand View Garden, Baoyu and Dayu, Shang Yun sleeping drunk, and Jia Mu walking in the Grand View Garden, with characters vividly brought to life, as though stepping out from the book. It is rumored that these murals were commissioned by Cixi's favorite eunuch, Li Lianying, who personally directed court painters to create them. The painting process was meticulous, reflecting Cixi's deep affection for the novel. Another example of her admiration for Dream of the Red Chamber comes from the year of the Boxer Rebellion, 1900. When a special copy of the novel was circulated among the people. This book was extraordinarily fine, with small characters written in red ink. And each page bore Cixi's handwritten annotations, marking her personal involvement in the text. According to Qing Lei Chao, Cixi had instructed the top scholar to lead a group of Hanlin Academy officials to transcribe a copy of Dream of the Red Chamber for her. Each page listed the name of the transcriber. The exquisite quality of the copy and her personal annotations indicate her deep passion for the novel. In addition to reading the novel, Cixi also enjoyed adapting it to the stage. According to Li Yuan Yishir Lu, Cixi often invited theater troupes from inside and outside the palace to perform The Legend of Dream of the Red Chamber at the Tun Hall. This play, written by scholars during the Daoguang era, consisted of 32 acts. Every time she attended a performance, Cixi sat at the center of the audience, showing a tender and kind demeanor. Quite unlike her usual authoritative self, resembling the character Jia Mu in the novel. After each performance, Cixi would reward the actors, especially those portraying Jia Mu and Fengjie, with generous gifts. It is worth noting Cixi's commemoration after her passing. According to relevant historians, the Dingdongling, located to the east of the Xianfeng Dingling tomb, is the burial site of two empresses of the Qing Dynasty, Empress Xian, Empress Xiaozhen Xian, and Empress Cixi, Empress Xiaoqin Xian. Because it is located to the east of the Xianfeng Dingling, it is known as Dingdongling. Empress Xian's tomb is in Puxiang Valley, and Empress Cixi's tomb is located in Putuo Valley. To distinguish them, Xian's tomb is also called Puxiang Valley Dingdongling, while Cixi's tomb is known as Putuo Valley Dingdongling. The construction of Dingdongling began in the 5th year of the Tongzhi reign, 1866, and was completed in the 34th year of the Guangxu reign, 1908, taking 42 years. The tombs of Empress Xian and Empress Cixi were built side by side with the same design style. Compared to the previous Xiadongling, Dingdongling incorporated additional features such as the Sacred Path Pavilion and horse-stepping stele, making the construction quality top-tier and regarded as one of the finest among imperial tombs. Empress Xian passed away in the 7th year of Guangxu, 1881, and was buried in Dingdongling in the same year in September. In the 21st year of Guangxu, 1895, Empress Cixi ordered major renovations to her tomb in Putuo Valley, claiming it had suffered from long-term disrepair. During the renovations, buildings like Longzhen Hall, the east and west side halls, Fangcheng, and Minglu were demolished and rebuilt, with other structures undergoing significant repairs and refurbishments. The work took 13 years and was completed just days before Cixi's death. Empress Cixi was finally buried in the imperial tomb on the 4th day of October in the 1st year of the Xiantong reign, 1909. Afterward, the tomb underwent some tumultuous events. In the 17th year of the Republic of China, 1928, the famous tomb robbery led by Sun Dianying shocked the world. He stole all the treasures, including a night pearl the size of an egg that Cixi was said to have held in her mouth at the time of her death, along with many other precious artifacts. In 1979 and 1983, researchers conducted cleanups and studies on the tomb's underground chamber and inner coffin. Today, the above-ground structures and the underground tomb are open to the public, becoming an important site for visiting and studying Qing Dynasty history. This is the History and Culture channel. Liking and subscribing are the greatest help and support to us. Thank you everyone and see you in the next time.